Hello guys, 2Pump here, bringing you another riding video. My second video was supposed to be in Mount Charleston, and I went out there and filmed it over the weekend, except there was a huge problem with it. I didn't have any audio, so anyway, so I didn't want to wait till next week to bring you another video, so I decided to do an improv night riding video. This is what it's going to be. So I had to choose a place to ride, and nice people over at Reddit pointed me to some locations that we are trying to get to right now. Where we're headed is Hollywood Boulevard over in Sunrise Manor areas, where the Mormon temple is. So I'm told it has pretty great city skyline view. Well, here we are, Hollywood Boulevard. I don't know if we're at Sunrise Manor yet, but wow, the city skyline really is beautiful from here. I hope the camera can see it at least a little bit. The trouble is, there's a lot of construction going on here. Since this is kind of an improv nighttime riding video, I figured what would be a good topic to discuss, and decided to do it about safety, things you can keep in mind specifically for people riding at night. So the first thing I was gonna mention is people who buy a motorcycle obviously need to get a helmet, and people who buy super sports most likely will get a full face helmet. When they order one, it usually comes with a clear visor. That's the standard, clear face shield. By default, that's what it comes with. So you invest in a tinted visor, but the issue is that when I say visor, I mean face shield. So I kind of use those interchangeably, even though I know it's more proper to call it face shield. But anyway, the problem with tinted face shields is that you have to change them to a clear one whenever it's nighttime, because you don't want to ride around with a tinted face shield at night. As it is at night, your visibility is going to be limited. You don't want something else to hinder that further. So there are some solutions. The one I use is not very easy. Like, I simply carry another face shield with me in the backpack all the time, and I ride with a backpack all the time because it's easier to carry things like that. So you could carry another face shield with you. The other solution is that you could either have some helmets have a visor, what is actually called a visor, inside their helmet, where it's kind of like these drop down shades. So the face shield is always still clear, but the visor is drop down, so you can drop it down whenever you're riding in the daytime and the sun is in your eyes, so you can raise it up if you're in the nighttime. The best solution by far would be to get a helmet that has photochromic face shields. Photochromic ones are the ones that automatically shift to tinted when sunlight hits them, and shift to clear whenever they're in the dark for a little bit while. Those are the best things to get. Then you can just put them on and forget about it. It'll do its thing automatically. But coming along with that is also the fact that many motorcycle riders don't ride with a full face helmet. People who buy cruiser type motorcycles sometimes will buy a half helmet, or a helmet that just doesn't have anything in the front. You need to have something that will protect your eyes, and not just when I say protect, I don't mean from something flying into your eye while you're driving. I mean from air as well. Just from you driving around at higher speeds, air hitting your eyes will make them tear up. Now let's pause for a moment and enjoy that view, that gorgeous view. I hope the GoPro can capture it to some extent. So you want something to protect your eyes. So if you are wearing half helmets or some kind of helmet that doesn't have a face shield in front of it, usually people who do that will wear sunglasses to compensate for not having the face shield in front of their eyes. Well, at night you don't want to wear sunglasses. You're typically not going to have some kind of clear glasses, but that's exactly what I would recommend. Some kind of clear glasses or goggles, so that if you go riding at night and you have one of those helmets, you can put those on, and it's going to protect your eyes at night. So those things coming along with that is being able to ride within the range of your headlights. That's actually in the Nevada Driver's Handbook. It's not exclusive to motorcycles, it pertains to cars as well. When you drive at night, you're supposed to drive within the range of your headlights. What that means is, as far as your headlights can light the road for you, you should adjust to that accordingly. Your speed, your attention, and everything like that. So that if your lights light up, say, I don't know, how far did they go? 50 feet in front of you. Then you should drive at such a speed that you can react to things popping up 50 feet in front of you. As I say that, I go over these bumps. Alright, so yeah, you should drive within the range of your headlights. That rule especially applies to motorcycles, because some of the mistakes that you can make on in your car are not going to be life-threatening. On a motorcycle they will be. The point is that drive within the range of your headlights. While we're talking about headlights, I should talk about upgrading them. Motorcycles, for those of you who don't know, especially the ones that have two headlights in front of them, will typically have reflective lighting. And to save costs, motorcycle manufacturers will usually make one side of the headlight the low beam and the other one the high beam. That's why you will typically see motorcycles with two headlights riding around during the daytime with only one headlight on, because that's the low beam. Well, aside from it not providing enough lighting for you, it's also not providing enough lighting to one side of the motorcycle, whichever side the high beam should be on. I would highly recommend upgrading your headlights to something that's much brighter. What I'm running is dual HID projectors. What projectors are, they're not reflective lights. They don't have that mirrored sort of reflective casing that they just reflect a bunch of light to direct to the front. They are projectors that project light forward. And I upgraded to two of them on my bike, and the difference is night and day. So it really makes a huge difference. As you guys can see, they light up the street pretty clearly. The issue is that I don't have footage of my bike before these headlights, so I can't show you how much of a difference it is, but I'll post up some image that one of the manufacturers of such headlights put up to show you what the difference is. But what comes with the upgrading headlights is also aiming them. You want to aim them properly. This is the part where I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, because I realized only after I went out that my headlights aren't aimed properly. And that's because I was adjusting them in the garage while the bike was staying upright and I was not on the bike itself. The issue is that when I get on the bike, what street is this? Sahara? Should we take Sahara down? No, let's go up to the top somewhere. We'll just drive back on the same road. One of these days I'll make another nighttime riding video through an area that I know better. The city skyline view really is absolutely beautiful here, but I feel like it's not a great street to ride on the bike, because it's not in front of you, you constantly have to turn, and that's obviously distraction. Anyway, so I didn't aim my headlights correctly because I was aiming them while I was not on the bike. But once I sit down on the bike, the suspension in the back of the bike compresses, so the lights start aiming up. So now I'm lighting up signs that are the like freeway signs at the top, so which is way too high up, which means I'm definitely blinding some drivers in front of me, which is the last thing you want to do. One of the other things that you should take note is that now, while this applies to cars as well, you know, like whenever you're turning in a car, say you want to make a left turn, Charleston, yeah, go ahead, let's go ahead and make a left turn here. So I want to make a left turn. In this case, the street is well lit, so it's not going to be an issue for me. But if I want to make a left turn while I'm going, the street is dark, I look to the left, except my headlights are still pointing forward. Obviously that's going to happen in the car as well. Although my cousin used to have a minivan that I drove a couple of times that I thought had the coolest feature ever. Whenever you would turn a turn signal on, say for example left one, side left headlight would turn on, causing you to see the direction that you want to head, light up that direction. So my motorcycle sadly does not have that, which means that I need to be more attentive when making turns. So if I need to make a left turn, the one way that I can avoid crashing into something that's gonna very abruptly appear in front of me is by taking everything slow, so that I can brake in time if something pops up. That's the other thing. And standing at that standing at that stoplight remind me of one other thing that motorcycles specifically have to worry about when driving at night. In the daytime it's not so much an issue because the stoplights are running a regular schedule, but at night, at least here in Vegas, I'm sure in many other cities as well, the stoplights are regulated by either a magnetic or a pressure sensor that are on the road, so that the main road will mainly have the green light all the time. So if I'm driving on a main road, it will have the green light unless the car on the secondary road pulls up, activates that sensor either with its weight or by magnetically using basically reacting to all of the metal in the car. Thus the street will know that there's a car there that wants to go, so it will change the light to yellow if there are no cars coming through, and change it to red so that the car in the secondary street can have a green light and go through. The issue with the motorcycles is that they are light. Whether it's a pressure plate or magnetic, they don't have enough metal or weight in them to activate some sensors. This used to happen to me all the time whenever I would drive to my sister's house, who lived in a gated community, and whenever I would be leaving that gated community, I would need to activate the gate so that it would let me out. I could not do that with my motorcycle because my motorcycle was too light. That was back when I was riding a Ninja 300. So I had to actually park the bike, go through the door in the front, type in the code, and go through the oncoming traffic side so that I could get out, because the gate would not activate for my motorcycle. That's another thing you have to keep in mind. Another thing is critters. At night there tend to be certain critters that won't come out during the daytime but will come out at night. And since it's at night, on top of everything, they're also difficult to see. So you have to keep an eye out for them. Lastly, drunk or tired drivers. We're talking about nighttime. Obviously most people don't drink at 9 a.m. If people go out drinking and partying, it's usually during the evening and night, which means some people will end up driving home drunk. And you need to look out for him. And a guy that just kind of gonna swerve in his lane is gonna be pretty easy to spot. What you need to worry about more is stop signs and stoplights. So if you pull up to a red light and you stop, and eventually that red light is going to turn green, you don't want to just rush through. Make sure that the cars on the sides of you also stop. Again, that mistake might just cause you an injury if you're in a car. But on a motorcycle, it's almost certain death. If that driver is not going to stop as you pull out of here, that's bad news for you. So that's stop signs and stoplights. Keep an eye for drunk drivers. Other than that, you might be asking, if there are so many caveats to riding a motorcycle at night, why even do it in the first place? To me personally, it's kind of meditative. Whenever I ride like if I'm having a bad day or something, or if I'm stressed out, this is something that calms me down like nothing else. There's some, you know, first of all, the way the city looks when it's lit up by street lamps rather than by the sun. All the lights on the sides and everything like that, just driving through. In general, nighttime driving tends to be more calm because there's less traffic on the road. So there are a lot of benefits to riding at night, as far as I can see. I think I rambled on long enough. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I'm gonna try to edit it a bit differently this time. We'll see how it turns out. I'm gonna try to cut off all the areas where I'm just sitting there thinking about something or saying what. So if that's the type of editing that you're gonna prefer, please let me know in the comments. One of the other things I wanted to mention once again is the website that I'm subscribed to, artlist.io, that provides royalty-free music. If you're a YouTube content creator or content creator in general, need to use music for your content but are worried about copyrights, there's a solution for you. You get an annual flat rate that gives you access to their entire library that you can use in your videos, monetize it, and you're not going to get flagged for copyright. One thing that I'll ask is, if you want to sign up for it, please use the link that I provide. You're going to get extra 2 months for free. I'll get extra 2 months for free. It'll help me out and help you out. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll make some more. Like I said in my previous video, the first one, I will try to release videos weekly. Might not work out always, like this time. I went out to Mount Charleston and lost the audio. And came up with a backup that was this night riding video. So if it doesn't work out for me 1 week, I will get back to you the next week. I hope to see you guys come visit and see my future content. And until then, have a beautiful week.